Between Vladimir Putin and none other than US President Mr. Donald Trump just got a lot louder, and this time it's about one of America's most powerful weapons, the Tomahawk cruise missiles. So on camera, both the leaders fired off sharp warnings that show just how dangerously close the Russia-US rivalry really is getting to the boiling point. I'm Dhruti Yatri. Let's break it down. Well, the Ukrainian government, led by their president, Volodymyr Zelensky, has been pushing hard to get Tomahawk missiles. Well, what are these missiles now? These are long-range precision weapons that can travel for more than 2,500 kilometers and strike targets deep inside enemy territory. Now, with those, Ukraine could technically reach Moscow itself. The request was reportedly made through European intermediaries, hoping to bypass direct US-Russia confrontation. But you know what? When Trump was asked about it, he didn't give a straight answer. That means no yes, no no. Instead, he told reporters that he wants clarity on how Ukraine plans to use those missiles, whether they'll be fired or whether this move could drag the US into a direct war with Russia. Trump admitted that he sort of made a decision, but also said that he is being very cautious. In other words, he is walking a tightrope trying to support Ukraine without setting off World War III. Now, that's when Putin steps in, and his tone was icy. The Russian president warned that if the US sends Tomahawks to Ukraine, it would irreversibly destroy Moscow-Washington relationship. Well, he called it a point of no return, adding that such a move would prove that the US is directly involved in their war. Putin even hinted that Russia would respond militarily and asystematically, sparking fear that Moscow could target Western interests or maybe NATO bases in Europe. So for context, the Tomahawk missile isn't really new. It has been used by US in wars from Iraq to Syria, but giving them to Ukraine would be a game changer. It would effectively allow Kyiv to strike deep into Russian soil, something that Western allies have so far avoided to prevent escalation. So behind the scenes, Western leaders have reportedly using restraint. In fact, NATO sources told reporters that such a decision could unite Russia's allies. That means China and Iran in stronger opposition to West. However, others argue that if Ukraine is to survive, it must be given the tool to hit back really hard, and the distance alone shouldn't protect Russian military targets. In the meantime, the Pentagons, well, they have stayed tight-lipped, only saying that all options remain under review. But you know what? Satellite images, they show increased US activity in Eastern Europe, including aircraft movement and supply shipment, signs that United States is preparing for any fallout. Now, this back and forth between Putin and Trump isn't just a war of words. It is a battle of nerves. It is a battle of strategy. It is a battle of global image. Putin wants to show strength and deterrence. Trump wants to project control and caution. Yet, both know that one wrong move, one misinterpreted order, or maybe one missed missile could unleash consequences far beyond Ukraine. So, here is where it stands. Ukraine is waiting, Russia is warning, and America is weighing its options. The Tomahawk may be just a missile, but in this geopolitical chess game, it's also a symbol of power, a symbol of provocation, a symbol that the thin line between deterrence and disaster can be erased anytime soon. So, will Trump really pull the trigger and approve the transfer, or will he hold back and risk looking weak in the face of Putin's threat? Because whichever way this goes, the world will be watching and holding its breath.